Hello YouTube. This is Necrofierce331 with another top favorite video. For this one, I decided to do top 5 instead of top 10, just due to lack of guess choices. And that would be my top 5 ritual monsters. So let's just get started. First off, rituals are probably my favorite card type, I think. I like the color of the card. I think it really makes the card look really nice, and I like the whole idea of a cold ritual kind of thing going on. I think that's kind of cool. So, anyways, let's get started with number 5 on my top 5 ritual monsters, and that would be probably one of the first ones I actually started playing, and that was Masked Beast. It's just a 3200 attack beater. It was actually pretty good during its time because the only other ritual monster that was played was Relinquished. The rest were useless. And so yeah, this card's just cool, and I really like the art. And I believe it was used by 2 of the characters in the anime, the masked characters. Forgot their names, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a dark themed. I like its art. I love the fact it's just basically a 3200 attack beater. But it also helped me set up in my fiend deck. I used it as a means to just get fiends in the grave, so I can set up for Necrofear while having a mean little beater on the field that was hard to get rid of at the time. So then we have number 4. This one's also fairly old. Came out in Dark Crisis, and I always enjoyed it because it was kind of like the boss card for my favorite archetype, which is Chess Piece Archfiends. It had a similar effect in regards to it needing a dice to utilize, and I always had fun with this card, and I used it for quite a bit of time. And that card is Dark Master Zork. I love the art. Apparently, this is supposed to be like the Zork monster that's used by Bakura in the final season. This is, I guess, supposed to be TCG version of it, but doesn't really look similar and doesn't really have a similar effect. But whatever, it looks cool. I love its art. I love fiends. It's my favorite type. So a lot of these are going to kind of be that. So yeah. Anyways, number 3. When I first saw this card, I just fell in love with it. I love the art, um, and I actually think the effect's kind of cool. But a deck with this card, it has to be based solely around this card. Nothing else really works um, with it, and I haven't quite found a deck that I like with her in it yet. Her effect was good for a while, but it's been power creep to the point where it's not even that great anymore. But regardless, this card's called Divine Grace North Lemko. This one's just a really cool. I love the dark armor on her. I love the wand. I love the background. Everything about this card is just cool. I think really awesome artwork, and found it to be very appealing. Especially, and it was kind of weird because it came out in Stars Overdrive, which is a 5Ds pack. It just randomly came out. It was popular for like a little while, and then people kind of moved on to other cards, but still pretty fun card. I enjoy it. Then we go to number 3, or no, number 2 actually. This card is also kind of weird in that it came out in a fairly newer pack during 5D's era, and um, I never played it, but I really like the art, and it kind of reminds me of Dark Lucius for some reason. Um, and that card is Garlandal, King of Destruction. Um, just really nice art. I like the background. It's a fiend. It's dark, kind of evil looking. Just I just really like this card, and I like its effect. It's not that great, but you never know. You sometimes have you can actually pull off stuff. And if you ever come across like zombie players or steel storm players, this card could actually wipe them out. And last but not least is number one. This is probably the most infamous ritual in the game, probably the most played ritual in the game. Um, it was at one point in time on the ban list, so without further ado, that would be Demise King of Armageddon. Everyone pretty much knows what he does, and pretty much knows, the powerhouse this card used to be. It used to be an OTK deck actually, and that format was actually considered one of the best formats in the game because Demise OTK was a great deck, but it wasn't so overpowering that you had no chance to compete against it, if that makes sense. It was to compare it, it would have been like in more recent times. It would have been during the time where the Quick Draw Dandy Warrior deck had just been developed, right after Absolute Power Force was released. There was that very small period of time before the Shining Darkness was released, where there was really a huge multitude of decks that you could choose that competed well. And you had Quick Draw Dandy Warrior was the best, but it wasn't like so overpowering that other decks couldn't compete against it. Unlike now, where the big three are just like way up there in power level, whereas pretty much everything else has a really hard time. Dark Worlds and Six Sams are alright. They have a chance. I've been testing Dark Worlds, and they do really well against Dino Rabbits, because Dino Rabbits, if you play properly, like with Drag Down, you can use Drag Down to get rid of those rabbits. You can use Mind Crushes to get rid of the stuff that you're worried about, while at the same time just beating face with Grappa over and over and over again. So Dark Worlds, I think, actually could probably do fairly well this format. Six Sams have to play the control game. They have to set up Sheehan and get some Phoenix Chains on the board so that they can shut down the opponent's deck quickly enough so that when they go for the swarm, they can just OTK and get rid of the opponent before they can set up their loop or insector, with their crap. And anyways, so these are my top 5 favorite ritual monsters in the game. Please comment, subscribe, rate, whatever, and feel free to check out my trade binder videos. I got some new stuff from the raw yellow mega packs, and I will be getting an Order of Chaos Special Edition box, as well as some random packs, because I like getting those random pack deals from Throne Toad. Um, yeah, so other ritual cards that I like that I don't have right now is, they're both from tournament packs, I believe. One of them is called Garma Sword. You probably know what that looks like. It has like 6 arms with swords in each arm, and I just really like that one. I've always liked that ritual. And the other one is Skull Guardian, which is also another warrior ritual card. One thing to note about ritual cards, I don't know if you've noticed this, but a majority of ritual cards are fairy or fiend type. I don't know if you guys noticed, angel or fiend, which kind of makes sense. When you when you do a ritual or a ceremony, you're either summoning gods or you're summoning demons. So kind of makes sense. But then again, I'd like to see some more other types. Like, they have some warriors and they have some spellcasters, but they don't have a whole lot of other types represented. So yeah. Anyways, I was actually thinking of doing a new segment where I take like I don't know, one of my favorite cards from one of these videos and make a deck around it. So I was actually thinking of making either one or the other. I was either going to make a Divine Grace North Wemco deck. So I have most of the pieces to the deck, although I do need to get a hold of a few diffusion wave motions. Or a Demise King of Armageddon deck. Um, and perhaps even going old school and then going Chess Piece Archfiend with Zork in it, which would be kind of crazy, but would be fun at the same time. Let me think. Comment below which deck you'd rather see me make. I could post a North Wemco deck list or Demise deck list. So let me know what you guys think. My next video is going to be my top 5 Xyz monsters, because there's not a whole lot of Xyz monsters in the game right now, so I'm only going to do a top 5 for that, and then it will be my top 5 fusions, top 10 fusions, then top 10 effect monsters, then top 10 vanilla monsters. So please check those videos out, comment, rate, subscribe. Also, if you guys would like to see me build a random deck, I'm thinking of doing section. Make sure they're only budget decks. I kind of want to make the section like budget, just fun budget decks. And the first one I already have up. It's Photon Stun. Basically, I haven't had the deck completed, but I do plan on making some random budget decks. So if you guys know of any cool budget decks that you would like to see me make, or put a twist to, or whatever the case may be, yeah, just comment, PM me, whatever. Anything works. And again, check out my trade binders. So, yeah, that's it for this video. Necrofear331 signing off.